So, did you ever have? You mentioned you coning. Did you ever get coned by a searchlight?
Yes.
And how would you escape that? Was it pretty easy in a Mosquito?
Well, the thing is, whatever you do, they've got others just following you. Just like shooting skeet, you go out this way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the point I wanted to make, that my CO, who had, DSO and bar, DFC and bar, Chronogar Palm and check metal, dropping spies in and out of occupied Europe in a Lysander.
Yeah.
He said, George, I'm going to tell you something that is going to help you with what you're doing. When you're going, instead of jerking around like this and like this, and he did this, he said, do a nice, gentle, slipping turn.
Yeah.
They'll think you're going that way.
Exactly.
And
so you're traveling like this,
yeah, but
and they're shooting over here.
Well, they're trying to shoot here, but
Yeah.
they're going here because we're going this way and they're shooting here, or they're shooting here.
Yeah.
And in the last 58 trips, I was not coned once.
Wow.
And that was the guy who was lost between Meppel and Zwolle.
So, did you take? I mean, I know you lost that one engine. Did you take any of the damage aside from that?
Okay, the damage there. That is sort of interesting because what had happened was one 303 bullet had gone through my starboard radiator. We landed. They said, looked like you had a bit of a tie. I said, yeah. I said, well, come here. He took me by the hand, took me around to the other side. There was a glance off the other radiator, that far, that had missed.
All because of road rage.
Huh?
Because of road rage, because you got mad at the searchlight.
Yeah. Well, I still want to do the damage, but
of course.
But it was so stupid to do it for that reason and putting my navigator and me at risk. But I got so mad.
Yeah.
That it taught me a heck of a lot.
Yeah.
That it doesn't take much to pull you down. Like the one place we got it. I'm not sure whether that was the one there. In any case, he showed me the other place that I got it in both rads. It may have been Grove Aerodrome coming back that I might have got one bullet through and another. But I know that at Hewson we got hit. And yeah, I think it was Hewson. We got hit by one getting my rad. That's right, because I didn't get shot the other. So then, going from Grove, a bullet came through and buried itself in the base of the starboard feathering button on that Freya.
Okay.
Coming back from Hewson, I didn't know what the damage was, but I knew that it got my radiator, and I shut down very quickly, feathered the propeller and shut down. And I wasn't sure, but what the heck choice do you have except perhaps to try to get home? And which I did, and I tried to do it as efficiently as I could in the nav to make sure that I don't waste any time. So we set it up to fly as efficiently as we could to get home. And that's when we found out that there was a glance off the other radiator.
Yes, you guys are really lucky.
Just 3 inches, 2 inches, whatever it was, where that would have put us down.
So, what was you and Paul obviously would have gelled together as a team. You did 50 missions over Germany.
Yeah.
Towards the end of your tour, you guys must have been like symbiotic. Like you must have been. I'm assuming you would gel together as a team, and you knew what the other person was thinking almost.
Oh yes. Well, we had the understanding that we were going to do our job, and we're going to do it as efficiently as we could. And I said, I'm not going to do something stupid. If you feel that I'm about to do it, you tell me. But I know at one time I dropped my pencil going down to Rabat, and I almost got into the beach picking it up. And he kept hitting me on the shoulder.
Because you guys weren't sitting side by side. He's slightly right?
Oh, he just bang, pull up, you idiot. But no, we had a great team. Now he was a very, I'd say, I would say, a heavy cigarette smoker.
Okay.
My father liked Pandora Panatella cigars,
Mm.
but and he did smoke cigarettes. But I never smoked because I didn't like the smell of it.
So, yeah, you said he was a heavy smoker. So obviously a bit different
Yeah.
from you.
Now, he did not smoke, thankfully, in the airplane.
That's good.
And it seems that when you're a non-smoker, Steve, that all the smoke goes to you.
I'm a non-smoker as well, so I completely
never
understand.
smoked.
Yeah, I've
But
seen one.
it always comes to you, and
Mhm.
you can smell it a mile away.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm so thankful that at a time when I had the choice, smoking wasn't bad for you. Marlboro Man.
Yeah,
It makes you very manly.
yeah, different era.
But my gosh, I'm so thankful that I never did it. Not only that, it was expensive as can be.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, it's a... Anyway, I'm just lucky that I didn't. But we had a good rapport, he and I, that operationally, that I wasn't going to do something stupid. Like the Americans used to say, and when having a briefing, we flew with them, they say, "Okay, guys, don't do nothing dumb."
Did you fly out with the Americans frequently, or a couple times?
The one thing that we did do, we flew up and down the channel with an American fortress who was doing surveillance, electronic surveillance. That's for just one little trip, but
Okay.
that was not just one of us.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes we'd like to do an air sea rescue trip. That means could we fly up and down the Dutch coast and see if one of our guys is in
In a dinghy.
a raft or something, and we did a few of those.
Okay.
But no.
So you mentioned that one close call with the JU-80 software. When did you have any other encounters with German night fighters in the sky versus on landing? No way.
No, but the potential was always there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Now, if we had a friend who did a trip, for example, I had an airplane accident because some guy tweaked the tire
Mm-hmm.
and I broke it. My friend took my trip and he was killed
Yeah.
going to Gutterslow. But the guy, my CO, was killed just going through Holland, ready to go to the Dummer Lake, between Meppel and Zwolle. He was killed near Zwolle, so he was obviously on the way in. We thought he was at Gutterslow, where my friend Ken Eastwood was killed,
Mm-hmm.
and we thought he'd been killed there. So on my 48th trip, they said, "We're sending you to Gutterslow. We want to see if you can have any idea whatever happened to Sticky Murphy and Ken Eastwood." So I did that, and I said they got this. I said I thought they had kind of a strange searchlight play with me, trying to teach me to escape in one direction. So luckily I looked up and I saw the North Star, and I yanked it around and headed back towards Holland.
Mm-hmm.
So I missed that, but
So they're almost trying to lure you into something.
that's what I felt. Now
Yeah.
I could have been full of it, but
You never know in the moment.
and you know the bomber stream and their tours, they lost half.
Mm-hmm.
8-man crews, I think they had.
Yeah.
We lost only a third, but even a third is a large number of people to lose.
Yeah, absolutely.
And some of like the Sticky Murphy and Sammy Hoare, a long list of operations they had, and my goodness, elite people, and boy. But most of the time I had very good advice from my peers,
Mm-hmm.
and our losses were not that heavy
Mm-hmm.
compared with the bomber stream, but the losses were more personal because we just had a few pilots on the squadron where they had hundreds on their.
So you knew everyone you lost. There was like a friend.
Yeah, we knew that. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'd be on the next bed over, for example. Ken Eastwood was across on the next Nissan hut, and I remember one time that his navigator came across, and Ken Eastwood was still asleep in the next hut. We were talking to him. I said, well, let's get him up. He said, oh, no, leave him. Oh, he went and shook him and he dragged him up and dragged him out. And he wasn't even dressed, out in the open air. But they had fun and we had fun as much as you could.
Yeah.
And we felt, I felt grateful to be in the company of people like that when I was such an innocent abroad. I was just too nervous about getting married, have a family, and then come home with the family and not be able to support them. And that's right. The one time that I did write to this girl, she wrote to me, that's when I got hit with a one bullet. So that was kind of another lesson.
A little sobering for you?
Yeah, but it reminds you so much. But we had very, very few come back wounded. They just didn't come back.
Okay. Tell me about the mission, 4 December 44, where you chased the V1. How did you spot it? It was at night, I assume.
Well, I saw it launched.
Okay.
So it was launched, so we go... So I dived down to grab it and just...
You just pulled away from
I pulled away right away, yeah. Russ Bannock shot down, I think, 19 of those things. So that was a real technique. But they got up with a lot of airspeed and power on the Mosquito, and he shot down that. He also he was very, quite heavily decorated. Yeah. Because he did the night fighter and night intruder stuff as well. But anyway,
wow.
That was something else with the heavy fighters went after those, the V bombs. There's nothing you could do about the V2.
The V2 is not really good.
And I was in London one night to pick up my mail. We had 15 parcels and 23 letters. And I opened up the first letter. My sister's just got married. She met this nice English gentleman. I thought, holy smoke. Picked up another one. Muriel has met this marvelous English gentleman, and they're in love, and they're going to wait till after the war to get married. She married him right then.
Oh wow, she wasn't fooling
And then
around.
she came overseas, and I met her overseas before I left England at his home. He was flying towing gliders and stuff out in India in the DC-3s, and he came back to live in Cheshire, and I met her when she came over there at Christmas time before I came home.
Oh.
So, but I went to Whittington near Lichfield in Cheshire to a home there, the Cahoons, and this guy was a wing commander in the Air Force, in intelligence. And she was a 35-year-old mother of 3, I think, Patton, Libby, and Mosey. And the Lady Writer Association found homes for people like me to go to when they're on leave.
Okay.
And so I drew this name, and I got there, and they had Fee, who was the nanny. The Fee had been Mrs. Cahoon's nanny when she was an infant. So isn't that amazing? And then her husband I had never met. And so I would go there for my leaves. The other guys would go to London to have a blast and you know what. And I'd go there every time and just have a good relax, and it was fine. And one time I met some Americans there too, and one time we went to church in the morning. The guy, one of the Americans, lit up a cigarette in the back row. You can't do that here. They were so funny. And they had this little donkey, they called it the ass cart. And we'd go around in this thing, and but it was so great, and we maintained contact. And then late in my tour, I had a call at breakfast time, Flying Officer Stewart report to the CO's office, please. So I went and reported, went in there and told this tall wing commander, very serious looking guy, Stewart, this is wing commander from Wingman. I said, what did you say your name was? He said, I understand you're staying with my wife. I said, oh my God, what did you say your name was? Oh God. I said, oh God. From then on, he was Uncle and I was George. We just loved each other. He'd arrange to have his leads when I'd have mine, and we'd go there. But
oh, wonderful!
Such a great guy, and great people. And they had this beautiful, stately home. They had a Bentley up on stilts, for the war, and so they weren't hurting.
No kidding.
But oh God, that was wonderful.
So, your last mission, 8 December 44. Koblenz area, intruder bomb Koblenz. I guess that's an airfield?
No, Koblenz was a city.
Oh, okay.
But what it did, we would be a spoof attack.
I see,
so
okay.
A bunch of us would go and pretend we're the bomber stream and bomb Cologne, Koblenz, and so forth, several cities.
Just to throw the Germans off.
Yeah, and from 10 or sometimes more feet. And they'd come after us, and then we'd drop our bombs, and they'd get there and we were gone.
Okay. All
so
the little tricks you did.
Yeah, see, we were bomber support.
Mm-hmm.
The Bremen Canal. Some mosquitoes were going in to mine the Bremen Canal. So we were to patrol it and wait for any Germans that would be coming along after them. And we did that, and the other guys didn't show up.
No.
To bomb or to mine.
To do their job, yeah.
No.
They didn't show up to do their job.
No. Either that or they were late.
Mm-hmm.
But those things happen,
Yeah, for sure. So you did your last mission, but you didn't know it was your last mission.
Well, if it was number 50, I did.
Yeah.
But then that's the one thing I should explain, because as I said to Paul after the 35th, we'll just slip in another 10 trips. We'll be finished and they'll have to send us home. So breakfast the next morning, Flying Officer Stewart and Flying Officer Badette, report to the station commander's office, please. I said, uh-oh. So went over, said, gentlemen, congratulations, sit down. You are tour expired, and before you say another word, I'm sending you home. So, oh, thank you.
So you guys were truly happy to be going home.
It was wonderful. Now that itself was an excitement too, because we're going by sea in a liner, an airliner, and
so
went over on a freighter, came back on an airliner.
A nice liner. So was there a large sense of relief, like, hey, we've made it? Was there a sense that the war was winding down? I mean, this is December 44, it was right before, I guess, the Battle of the Bulge, so...
Well, I expected what you did after a tour, you go for 6 months as an instructor at an operational training unit.
Okay. And
then come back and do your next tour. As I said, this one guy was in his 5th tour. God knows how many tours. Sticky Murphy had DSO and Bard, but he dropped in an unoccupied Europe, picking up and dropping off spies and Lysanders. And Sammy Hoare, the same. And my gosh, they heavily decorated, but heavily operated.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's an incredible operational tempo.
Yeah, and they had terrible operational distress too.
I bet.
So some of them they were taken right off ops immediately. And if they lost a limb, of course, that was another thing.